Now, let's see what happens in this whole new world. What's up, guys? So you're here to do a breakdown slash live reaction and review of Chapter 60 of Kagurabachi, which is known as Resurrection. And I'm intrigued. I see we're back with the Kamunabi on this first page. So it's like they got the update, the airdrop, the info that Summer done went rogue. The Shaku got an enchanted blade. Chihiro himself is probably cooked, even though we know he ain't cooked because I know we were cooking the main character. Like, so much has happened in just last chapter alone, building off what is happening in the previous chapters. I'm interested to see it. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Heading me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. But another fun fact. Ooh, the plot's not a gift. Then like 3 Snickers, it really depends if this is the motivation they need to give the Swordmaster back the Shinichi. If this is it, it really depends. But let's see what the Kamunabi has to say about the betrayal of the master of Tobimune. Let's see. And that's all Hakuri Sazanami heard of Uraha and Samura's conversation, killing the contracted sword bearers. Oh, okay. So I wonder if Hakuri is locked back with the Kamunabi or is with, oh wow, so but I guess it is very, very important. It makes sense that they had this meeting as early as possible. 3:14 a.m. So it's the dead of night right now, where they're just like, no, we gotta meet on this now. Things are going crazy. Yeah, this is worthy enough that you can't really say, oh, we'll push this back to like 9 a.m. or something when everyone gets their rest. No, there can be no time to rest because who knows what's happening. Let's see. Killing the contracted sword bearers. I wonder if Hakuri is in their care right now still. I wonder what happened to that ninja trio that once served under Samura. I wonder what Shiba is doing with Chihiro. Like, presumably he's being recovered, but do the Kamunabi know that? Are they asking about the location of Enten? Are they asking about the Kumeyuri? Because maybe they don't know. Like, sure, Hakuri teleported Chihiro there, but he may have not heard about the fact or seen. Well, no, he saw. Yeah, he saw the body hit the floor. So like he presumably knows that the Shaku now have Kumeyuri. So like there's so much information that the Kamunabi may or may not have. I'm excited. Killing the contracted sword bearers. And Samura of all people, he's the last person we need to go rogue on us. Yeah. Especially the way he's built. Yeah. That's real bad. Well, actually, he's not necessarily the last person. I mean, I guess right now, with an enchanted blade, he's the last person. But, like, I'm not sure what the Shinichi guy was like, but apparently he and y'all did some real bad things. So, again, that's the big coin toss, right? Just how last chapter, we had Yuta talking with everyone else being like, it's a gamble. Didn't want to play the trump card so soon, but sometimes you got to play with what the hand that you're given is. Right now, the Kamunabi has the choice. Do they take the sword bearers they have now and the one enchanted blade they have in the Shinichi and reunite them in this moment just to be safe? Because once again, Samura has Tobimune, and Tobimune seems very, very powerful. Gives the man the ability to teleport seemingly out of nowhere, unless it's like based on people he sees or has laid his eyes on, or at least has like a sensory vision of, considering he seems like he blinded himself a long time ago, so maybe he doesn't remember. And then again, who knows when this took place versus when it didn't. At the same time, he could appear right here and now, slaughter all you all and dip. Like, that's the thing. You just don't know. So maybe they immediately resort to giving him back that. Because right now, Samura is a living, breathing, walking, talking weapon of mass destruction. Except he's only doing walking and not too much talking, as he's going to be tearing down everything the Kamunabi has built. What's it? Ura. Tobimune and Kumeyuri. Those 2 enchanted blades are now usable to the enemy. However, our plans continue to... Our plan? They're on schedule? And notably, it's not that those 2 enchanted blades are now usable to the enemy. Tobimune is... Well, wait. Like, do they not know? No. They know he's gone rogue. So, like, I wouldn't say Tobi. Well, then again, I guess now the enemy is the Shishaku and Samura. Even if they don't immediately assume that for one reason or another, Samura and the Kamunabi are immediately working together, or not the Kamunabi, Samura and the Ishaku are immediately working together. The same assumption is that now they're just both the enemies, so now they just got to focus on new things. But still, our plans continue to. What are your plans? How's Hakuri Sazanami's condition? Okay, so they do have him under repair. Okay, that's bad. How is Shiba gonna get him out? They're gonna have to work through him, right? Like ultimately, that's the only way they're gonna get him back. I'm assuming. Physically, he's doing well enough to hold a conversation, but the neural pathways that govern sorcery are damaged. He's currently undergoing intensive treatment, but there's no guarantee he'll recover completely. So yeah, they're cooked. I mean, like, it really depends, because someone has said a week. In 1 week's time, this will all be over. So, like, clearly he has a timetable. But now, their only way to recover the other Enchanted Blades are gone. They have no idea. Well, we'll see. I'll wait to see if they have any idea where Chihiro is. But if they know where he is, and he's currently being taken care of by them, he needs to be healed somehow, in some way, shape, or form. And now someone at any moment can just do whatever he wants. No blade wielder will be able to defend themselves. Of course, there's the whole idea of whether or not. I mean, it really depends on how the Hishaku decides to attack and how someone's attack coordinates with their attack. Right? That really depends. Because I feel like if someone wanted to just appear and go, he could, if he could, he would have. But I don't think he can. So he's likely waiting for something. What that something is, I don't know. But I'm intrigued to find out. And it is interesting that we're locking Hakuri down. Do I think we're losing Hakuri? No. Do I think Hakuri's going to lose his abilities? No, but I do think we're in a spot where we cannot be expecting to rely on Hakuri or his abilities for the at least short foreseeable future. I think for the next 10, 20 chapters, Hakuri's going to be on lockdown. And specifically, Kamunabi lockdown, meaning it's highly unlikely we're even going to have him as a part of the narrative, considering his neural pathways are damaged. Specifically the ones for sorcery, but still. He right now, in fact, is a narrative liability, where before he was a damaged and high-cost narrative asset. But honestly, I like that. I like that ultimately Hakuri's risk-taking, his life-risking stuff, not only is having consequences as it was said it would. It's not a My Hero Academia situation where Midoriya is told, don't break your bones, it could be bad, only for Midoriya's bones to break and nothing goes wrong with it. Well, once again, who knows, maybe Hakuri will get up in an instant, but I doubt that. And two, I'm glad that we are removing him, because it did seem like it was too easy. That's the one thing. That's why I think everyone, before even the Summoner Twist happened, was on edge a little bit, at least from my read on the fan base, the pulse in my comment section, and just my own feeling. I was like, it seems like everything seems to be going too right. Even when the Hishaku started attacking, it all seemed to be going a little too smooth. So now with Hakuri out of the play, things have gotten a lot more chaotic very, very quickly. Very, very good. Let's see. There's not much hope. He's done a lot for us. We have to recognize that our grasp of the situation was naive. That is true. This guy has such a really good design. Let's see. So, only the Shinichi is left? How's the progress on the seal? So, on the seal, as in they're sealing it away or undoing the seal? Steady. About 3/5 complete. Now that we can't depend on Hakuri Sazanami to transport the swords, should we consider using the Shinichi? Yeah, look, immediately being forced into that. And that's likely what Samura wanted, right? Ultimately, he may not... Okay. Let me read this first before I go on to what I was about to say. Wait. Let's not be too hasty. Look at the sky. That's Owl. Get all the reports from our branches. They're all over Japan. With a reach that vast, it can probably only detect massive levels of spirit energy. In other words, it's an enchanted blade detector. Someone said he wouldn't let the Ishaku have their way with the enchanted blades, and I think we can believe him. Have you effectively hid the other two contracted sword bearers? Okay. So that is the catch-22. If they were to unseal the Shinichi, which is how Samura's tracking them right now, the wielder of the Shinichi would have to have it in his hands. He would have to have it in that moment in order to defend himself, because otherwise someone's immediately killing him. The moment they unseal it, whoever. But then again, the real question is, could they trap him there, right? Because it depends on how Samura, this guy describes it as it's a spirit energy sensor. Since he has so many owls active all over Japan all at the same time over all their headquarters, essentially he's just hunting, waiting for a whiff of the Enchanted Blade's magical energy or mystical energy, which he recognizes. But if he's not careful, he could easily be baited into a trap. They could get a random person to activate the Shinichi. Heck, we saw Kyoto Sazanami, I remember his name, Kyoto Sazanami immediately activated while it was still sealed. That would be a massive burst of spirit energy. They draw it in Samura and boom, they gank him. Or they immediately off him. Like, it really depends on what levels of sorcery and abilities they have access to and what Samura is even capable of falling for. That's also another thing. So I'm not sure. Maybe I feel like somehow this is going to backfire for Samura. While it sounds like the perfect observation system, the fact that it's so heavily reliant on Enchanted Blade activation, I feel like the thing is, Samura's so fast. It really, and y'all plus the way that Yuta and the rest of the Hishaku, or at least the two other Hishaku we saw reacting to Samura, except for Hakuri, of course. It is maybe all right. Maybe Samura can just run the 1v10. Maybe he is just built like that for real. Ultimately, the real question is, for the Hishaku, their main question, can they figure out a way to train Hirohiko without alerting Samura? AKA possibly not putting just a seal on Kumayuri, but also putting a seal on the general area. Like, say they give Hakuri a box, and they're like, okay, you're going to train Kumayuri in this box. We're going to unseal Kumayuri, but we're going to seal this room. No one will be able to access you. You'll be stuck here until we can pop this box open in order to override the ability for Owl to come sense it and then see it, and someone to come in immediately off Hirohiko. Entirely possible. At the same time, think, you neutron brain blast. Is there any way for them to do that? The Kamunabi to do that. They have the Shinichi. Could they either bait someone in by having someone false wield it, bait him in, and then attack him in sorcery, and then the worst comes to worst, have the sword bearer be there and have it in hand immediately, then to wield it against Samura, because I think that would be a high diff fight, considering it seems like Samura himself isn't the most, like, he's willing to do it, he's going to do it, he's built and ready and mentally prepared to do it, but it's clear there's a reason that he's worried about fighting the Shinichi wield in particular. It is the most powerful of the Enchanted Blades. The Sword Master is clearly the most powerful of them all. I would say Samura's probably number 2. At current, he's probably the most powerful character in the verse, I would say. Right now, from what little we know of the Hishaku, Samura is the most powerful character alive with Tobimune in his hands. But at the same time, if the Swordmaster gets the Shinichi back in their hands, they're then most likely the most powerful character in the universe. And Samura's going to need the Hishaku's help to take him down. But at the same time, it really depends on how the Hishaku reacts to that battle beginning, if they can even reach there in time. It's Samura who can teleport. Maybe the Shinichi, maybe the Hishaku have a way, but I don't know. This is such a volatile scenario. It really is a who acts who first. Is someone going to bait Samura? Are they going to work around Samura's tracking and location? What is this deadline that Samura has in his head that's only going to take a week? What's going on? Let's see.
Good thinking. That old coot would never stay put unless you made it. Let him make sushi. Oh, yeah, we hit the restaurant along with Subaru. Good thinking. That old coot would never stay put unless you let him make sushi. With the new sword bearers nearly isolated, the information warfare will be gridlocked for the next few days.
For the next few days, though, so they can be hunted down.
In the interim, we let Samura and the Ishaku wear each other down. There's no need for us to come barging in with the Shinichi and get in the way. The risk is high. Better save it as a last resort.
Do you even know if they're attacking each other? That's the thing. They don't have enough context. They genuinely do not have enough context. So we know that technically their allyship only comes to the fact that they won't attack each other until the other sword bearers are slain. But it's not like Samura's actively hunting them. So right now, the longer they go without acting, it's just more and more time for Samura to plan and prep around them, I'd say. But
our best move is to shore up our defenses and ambush them.
Yeah. But then again, it really depends on how potent and how much power you have access to. Obviously, you do have Flamebone. You have Hiyuki with Flamebone, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Once again, I mean, it's power comparable to the Enchanted Blade, but clearly not on the Enchanted Blade level. I don't know, I'm a little concerned. But let's see. Chihiro with the Resurrection. Uh-oh. I forget if that's a new scar, or if that's a new scar.
Hey, How you feeling, Chihiro? I know there's no making sense of it. How you're injured. Uraha's dead.
I feel like, not only do I feel bad for Sheep in the fact that I still like have a underlying instinct not to trust them, which is bad. Like, I don't know why. I still can't explain it, but I'm glad I'm not the only one. A couple of y'all in the comment section of last week's review were like, don't worry, Pencil Man. I also feel strangely suspicious about this guy. And that made me feel good in my heart of hearts. So thank you very much for that. But that aside, I do feel bad for him in the sense that now he needs to play this really strange role where he still is the intermediary between the Hishaku and Chihiro, and now he sort of needs to play parental guardian and try to help Chihiro get through this mess. Like, obviously, the big thing with Chihiro and that I loved about last chapter was seeing the confusion. And like as things clicked in and clicked out of play, like you could see, and now that we know that Summer himself still doesn't know the original traitor that ended up leaking the location of Kunishige. Like that was completely separate. I thought Summer being the traitor for the Shaku revealed that no, that was everything. But no, apparently there's another traitor inside the Kamunabi who ended up leaking that information, which makes sense to a degree. There's Chihiro's now connecting pieces like we connected that may actually not even be connected, but there's still all this chaos. And of course, there's the fact that he was diffed. He was viciously diffed by Samura. So everything in Chihiro's head is going wrong, and the main thing he's processing is that Uruha's dead. It's been 18 years. It's like meeting him again after all this time. Poor Uruha, man. Like, darn. And I was just starting to get attached to you, buddy. Not attached enough that... And that's the thing. It's the one... And of course, it's the byproduct of any manga or like any story of any kind. But Kagurabachi especially, while it's done so much, it is so good, and it's so far a 60 chapter run, not a single death has really hit me. And of course, there really haven't been that many. Most of the deaths have been villain deaths, but like, even for deaths of supposed allies or good people, I feel like Hokuzono Sensei, for the sake of character development, because ultimately that's what a lot of this is for the sake of character development, they're running into an issue that Gegaku Tami had as well, where it's like, cool story, bro. You off this character. I feel nothing. I can only reflect on the feeling I gave another character. And that's fine. Like, ultimately, death in stories is a narrative device. That I will always readily admit that. Even I, as a character or as a guy who's writing my own series, I'm like, can't wait to off this character. Like, as I write them, I know their endpoint is their death. I've inserted you, I've created you. I know I've done that just to rip your life away from you for the sake of another character. But at least as I do that, I try to make sure we have enough exposure, enough time, enough character to that character, and it's not obvious. I try to do my best to make sure it's not obvious that they're going to die. And of course, I'm not even going to sit here and say that it was obvious that Uruha was going to die. That really, I wasn't thinking that. But you could tell from the polls I was making at the time, how I was talking about it, I kind of accepted that he was going to die. Well before he did. And thusly, maybe that is a me thing, and that's a problem with me, where I ultimately didn't build up too much of an emotional attachment to Uruha. But the moment my glorious King Hirohiko was introduced, I was like, he's going to wield Kumayuri. He's going to wield one of the Enchanted Blades. So I think I had set up a soft mental defense for any emotion in connecting to Samura or Uruha if either of them died. And thusly, it just feels a little hollow. I'm interested for what it does for Chihiro's character. That's what I'll always admit. There hasn't really been a death, at least recently in New Gen, where I'm like, this is like just nothing. Where I don't understand why that character fell, but I get why this character fell for Chihiro's sake. His character development is going to go crazy off of this. But for Uruha himself, the death itself, it don't really hit. You know what I'm talking about? And this is a question I have for y'all. Has there been a death? Because there have been a couple. Has there been a death in Kagurabachi that really, boom, like beamed you over the head, like certain ones have? Like, I'm thinking of like some famous deaths from other manga. I won't spoil, just for sake of not spoiling. But it's not impossible. There are manga that have run for a while or not as long as Kagurabachi, and they've hit me emotionally with a character's death. And I can't say Kagurabachi's done that just yet, because I feel like there's never enough time. Which is a blessing and a curse. Once again, I do like the fast pace of Kagurabachi. It works really, really well. It feels like there's never any downtime in the series, and whenever there is a chapter of downtime, it's like half a chapter, and then we immediately go back to building plot. So it keeps the series very alive and thriving and moving forward. But if there's never any... How can I say this in a profound way? If there's never any time to look at the trees within the forest, why would I care if one is chopped down? Know what I'm talking about? But let's see.
Mr. Samura is an enemy. He stabbed me. I nearly died. Oh, no. You did die.
Oh, well, the owner just says it in the official sense. But if was I'm about to say, is that really just a stab? It looks like he like tore your shoulder out, Chihiro.
You did die. Your heart stopped. You were confirmed dead. But several minutes after your death, the gash to your lungs and liver healed, and the wound closed. You lost some blood, but other than that, your body's almost totally restored. It's either an insane miracle, or my eternal contract's broken too. Then I really did. Where's Enten?
Is the plot thickening? What is this? What does this mean?
Huh? I think someone deliberately planned your revival.
Okay, the plot is getting extra. So is Uraha alive? Wait. I was just talking about how I didn't really feel to him. Wait a minute. Hokuzono-sensei, what you cooking?
Deliberately? How? Perhaps it's within Tobimune's power, although I can't say for sure. Even if he could do that, why would he kill me temporarily? One reason could be to warn me, send the message that you can't protect him. Another reason might be to sever your eternal contract with Enten, to stop your quest for vengeance.
I mean, that's but one, huh? Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip to that. Let me think a little bit. It works. It works. And I did think it was suspicious on how he handled him. I wonder if the same thing happened with Ura. If it once again goes to question. A lot of people in last week's comment section brought up a very interesting point because I kept referencing a certain point. My main critique of Samura's plans, my main issue with it is, hey, Samura, fantastic job, bro. You slaughtered everybody. You got rid of the sword bearers. Now all of the guilty are in the grip. What stops the Kamunabi from taking the same exact blades and committing these same exact atrocities again? Especially after you off yourself. You should focus on destroying the enchanted blades. However, a lot of y'all pointed out that maybe they don't know that's possible. Samura especially. Notably, he had never heard of an enchanted blade being destroyed. We don't even know if he knows that Cloud Gouger is destroyed. He doesn't know. He may not. Like, the very few characters in the universe know that Cloud Gouger was actually shattered. And it's highly likely and entirely possible that Enten's purpose, as a lot of people also theorize, is literally to shatter the other blades. Because it's the only one shown to do that. Out of the great 6 enchanted blades, one of them's broken, and it's only after its interaction specifically with Enten. So maybe that was an impossibility. Maybe someone theorized that they were just flat out impossible to destroy. And in that case, this alternative way of slaughtering people to destroy the eternal contracts is interesting, but it still admittedly does leave that open hole. What is Samura's plan for those enchanted blades after their death? Is it just, I'm worried about, well, and even then someone pointed out that apparently what I was talking about matched very similarly to somebody's idea on another platform where they had talked about how Samura may be a little bit too short-sighted on something like this, which is hilarious because he's blind, where ultimately short-sighted and hubristic in the idea of, oh, I'm just going to be judge, jury, and executioner, not caring about anything else that would come after that because I care about what happens in the now because of his short-sightedness in spite of his nature as a blind man. But still, I don't know. That's interesting. So if he had the power to revive Chihiro, is Uraha alive? And if so, what does that mean? But let's say. And it's interesting that, but then again, I understand, because Samura even said at the end of last chapter, he doesn't have to become one of us. So ultimately, he wanted to spare Chihiro, but why not spare your own student? What did Uraha do? What did Uraha do that couldn't be forgiven? Or what did Uraha do that you couldn't work with him to slaughter the other enchanted blade wielders? Having another enchanted blade wielder would have been good, especially one that you can fight alongside and work with. Samura, why wouldn't you try? Let's see.
Well, I guess you got the warning loud and clear, Mr. Shiba. I guess so. I failed to protect you. I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner. For the second time. Oh, yeah. Shiba's always late.
Which was, I mean, like, well, here's the thing. For this most recent example, he had an excuse. He definitely had an excuse in the sense that he just wasn't there. Like, he was possibly clearing out the other fortresses, making sure the other sword bearers were safe. It's likely the information leaked, and he needed to be there to move around as quickly as possible. Once again, he wasn't good enough the first time, and he hasn't been good enough the second time. So, buddy, buckaroo, pal, amigo, are you evil? Because you're one of the few characters who knew where Kunishige was. Are you the traitor? I don't know. Like, maybe it is. I feel like it'd be so poignant if he was, but maybe not. Let's see.
For the second time. But we have no evidence Mr. Samura meant to. Samura has no reason to kill you.
I mean, that is true. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't, technically.
Then why did he have to kill Mr. Ura?
Well, he said so.
Our sins. Heaven's old Chihiro. He's better off not knowing. What's the terrible thing my father and those guys? Chihiro.
Oh, Clatter? Who is it, Char? I'm assuming? Oh, no, the ninja guy. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the ninja dude. The guy who looks young but is really, really old. Let's see. Not really, really old, but like he's actually a full-grown adult despite looking very, very young.
Yo, Chihiro Rokuhira. Nice to meet you. Mr. Samura talked about you. A child?
The only thought.
I'm the head of the Masumi ninja clan. We were Mr. Samura's guards for 3 years. Don't worry, we're totally baffled too. We were knocked out before we could even react. As guards, we're fired. Did you hear about your friend, Hakari? Yeah. They say he's okay.
Okay, so he is under the... Well, maybe not. It really depends on whether or not the Kamunabi knows Chihiro's alive. They don't mention him in the first half of the chapter, so maybe they don't. But I presume they would, right? They're probably the ones giving him the treatment. I highly doubt Chiba has access to all this all on his own. Let's see.
They say he's okay.
He woke up blaming himself for Mr. Uraha's death. And the crazy thing, that's a whole what if in of itself. Like, I won't write it because I don't have enough, like, forward series to write from. I have to wait a little bit. But the whole plot does change. Like the choose, and notably, someone did such a good job of baiting it to be him. But if a fat, juicy, hefty Uraha had actually summoned Kumayuri to Sabana, or to Uraha, the whole series would change from where it is right now. The whole series would be a lot more stable until Hakari summoned. That would actually be a fight I'd want to see, even though I do think ultimately the way someone has been hyped up, he'd probably win it. I would love to have seen Uraha get his blade back, then someone else would be like, hey, maybe you should give me my blade back, kid. And then he gets it back, and then ultimately, we'd probably still get here eventually. It would just take a little bit longer, because I doubt they would go to the other sword bearers first. They would probably... I'm assuming Uraha would use Kumayuri to certify and protect the current fortress they were at. Then they would wait for Hakuri's abilities to recover naturally, organically, so he doesn't have to go through the brain damage. And then someone would ask for his blade back, because he's right there. And then he would get his blade back, and then he'd slaughter everybody there, or knock everybody out, and then do what he's doing already. So there'd be a bit of delay. But ultimately, I think it'd be fine. The thing is, though, Hakuri may have ended up dead in that timeline. Because no Kumayuri, and someone is still being alive, yeah, he probably ended up dead. Because Hakuri only survived because of very specific timing. If that didn't happen, if Kumayuri was taken and not Tobimune, yeah, he would have died because someone would still be alive. But see, blaming himself for Mr. Uraha's death, he's kind of right. He asked us to look out for you. I'm gonna need your help again. Hakuri. Yeah, because that's good though. Hakuri cannot participate, so now they're here to participate instead. In any case, it's our duty, but recently we let our personal feelings get involved. He saved our lives. That he did. Until he's back on his feet, we want to do everything in our power to resolve this. Was Mr. Uraha really killed? Right. Since you came back to life, I had the same thought, so I contacted the morgue. He's already been sent on to forensics for an autopsy. Normally, they don't release any information without authorization, but I'm trying to negotiate with them to make an exception. But given that we haven't heard anything, it's probably better to not get your hopes up. No. I refuse to believe it. I have no way to make sense of this. Why is this happening? There's just too much that I just can't accept. And I get that, yeah. The plot Oh, Chihiro, the plot, it is extra thick. It is thicker than a possum with the mumps. It is thicker than peanut butter that you left in the bottom of the freezer for 5 years. It is thick. What's it?
This is too much I can't accept.
I know. It's so aggravating, right? We've been left totally out in the cold. We have no idea what Mr. Someone was really thinking. And even we, as omniscient readers, we still don't fully know. We don't have enough context. Like, we have been following Samura, so, like, we know a lot of his internal monologue, but we don't know enough. There's still so much information that's locked away from us, which is really, really good. I actually do like that. Let's see. We have no idea what Mr. Someone was really thinking. Treating us like kids. Chihiro's looking at me. That is a full-grown man.
Chihiro, Mr. Shiba, I can't just quit now. It's asking too much. I've taken people's lives. I can't stop. Not now.
It's a slippery slope, Chihiro. I mean, obviously, I don't blame him, and obviously, we need to have a main character, and Chihiro is our main character, so it makes perfect sense he's going to keep moving forward. But at the same time, that's a slippery slope. I've started killing people. I've started taking lives. I can't stop. That's probably the exact same words and lines that Samura said to himself, that Uraha said to himself, that all the sword bearers said as they committed whatever atrocity they did in the past.
And Kunishige said
whatever atrocity that he's responsible for in the past. Ultimately, it is that. I've already started. I need to complete doing what I'm doing. That's the one thing someone was trying to avoid with him. And maybe if he was more direct, maybe if she was more direct with Chihiro, then maybe he'd be able to understand it and move forward somewhat. Ooh, I like all these extra scars he's getting. But ultimately, he can't. For one reason or another, they refuse to tell him, they refuse to elaborate. So all that Chihiro's doing is falling down their exact same path. Ooh, I love the writing. One thing,
Dad taught me that bit by bit, you have to learn by seeing things with your own eyes. Please, tell me what happened. And whatever the truth is, I need to make Mr. Samura understand. I'm already going down.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. He's locked in. So right now, even if it is the sunk cost fallacy to its ultimate degree, I get it from Chihiro's perspective. I completely understand it.
I'm already going down.
I'm glad we're in agreement. Take a couple of days to rest. After that, we have a special assignment for you. We'll go have a talk with him. With who? Is it Samura? I don't think y'all can find him. Let's see.
I think he went easy on you the first time since it was left by your father. But if he kills you again, Summer will keep Enten next time.
I'm shocked. So, like, that's the thing that's confusing. If he was really all about it, I know Shiba had grabbed it, but, like, considering how fast Summer moves, he probably could have just impaled Chihiro, sliced his shoulder open, and then grabbed Enten and kept it pushing, if he really wanted to get rid of it. Once again, that's why I wonder, what is his plan for the Enchanted Blades? Was he really just expecting Chihiro to just sit there and never, ever, ever, ever use it again? Just look at it and be like, thanks, Dad, for this final sword. I was taught a wonderful lesson by Mr. What's his name? By Mr. Samura, and I will never use this thing again. I'll let it fall into the wrong hands, though, and they'll use it, even if I won't. What's it?
Are you prepared for that? Oh, I'm sorry, Rokuhira. Samura. If I were a real adult, I'll cut them all down. I would have stopped him then, by force if necessary.
Wielding Enten.
You had it right over there?
I mean, yeah, what? Okay, where'd you want him to keep it? Of course he had a close hand.
I won't die again.
I'll hold you to that. It's your job to make sure he's alive, Shiba. Let's see.
In terms of fighting power, Summer's a greater threat than the Ishaku.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I will sit my wrong behind it. I glaze the Ishaku too much. So it's been reiterated so many times. Y'all are right in the comment section, and just generally right. Yeah, Summer, he's just him. He's just built like that. Like, he's legit he is the strongest character in the rest right now. Alright. Darn. The entire Hishaku? God, I get why these Enchanted Blades were considered absolute demons, bro. Like, what? Let's see.
In terms of fighting power, Samura's a greater threat than the Hishaku. We should be assembling a force to contend with Samura. Do we have enough fighters for that? One person came back to life. Plus, your coat's in tatters. You want to use this? This is the Masumi's official uniform. Ninja attire.
Ooh, this all looks clean.
With the ability to conceal every sound and scent, they were the only force who could fight along Samura. But the same token, they're the potential to be someone's greatest nemesis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It really, but the thing is, that's when they're fighting alongside him. He can still sense bloodlust to some degree, so I'm not sure if this works. Let's see. Ooh, the fits are clean. The fits are clean. Where's Hiyuki? Where's Flamebolt? But the fits are clean. Look at the gang. Look at the gang. Look at the gang. Look at the, he is super tiny. Golly. But look at the gang. Let's get fired up indeed. All right. Are they really gonna go fight Samura? That's crazy. Y'all should be cut. But everyone dual wielding too. Oh, is go. Yeah, W chapter. I love it. I love this chapter. Is an intermediary chapter, undeniably. But what I love about it is that it really hammers in. If you weren't already confused, if it already didn't hit you that everything's up in the air and confusing and unknown and unexplained, and notably, it doesn't look like he got the explanation that he wanted. Like Shiba, thanks to the interference of the little ninja dude, he did not give the explanation that he wanted of what happened in the past and make Samura feel so guilty. So ultimately, that still must be told to him by Samura or somebody else. So this chapter really hammers in how chaotic everything is. It hard locks Hakuri from the narrative for now. So his abilities will not be viable, at least not for any period soon, which I think is a good thing. I think removing Hakuri from the narrative, while it's unfortunate, because I'd say he basically is our deuteragonist for now, you gotta remove him because his abilities are a little bit too broken. The idea that the Shinichi is either being partially sealed away, 3/5 done, and or 3/5 undone, that's also very, very good. Once again, we're laying down that ground. Setting up Samura's weakness and strength and his ability to observe all and immediately sense enchanted blade usage is interesting. The mystery of the Ishaku being reinforced and laid down, very, very good. Chihiro's confusion and his shock and even his weird, strange resurrection, also very, very good. Once again, showing that Samura is a morally gray character, not entirely a dark character. The alignment of the ninja clan, the Masumi clan, to Chihiro in order to pay back the protection of their lives from from Hakuri is fantastic. And obviously Chihiro deciding to keep moving forward, ultimately deciding to reach Samura one way or another, this time on the battlefield. Overall, everything is straight gas. But of course, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do even have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions for the series I am to review, and free reviews of all my videos, and becoming $25 Patreon or my $25 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also, I do a link to my Ko-Fi description down below where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for long. Y'all think I forgot the password, didn't y'all? Something I gotta catch y'all. But with that being the case, if you're not all the way to the end of this video, please leave WDS, dual wielding squad, because they all got 2 blades on, dual wielding squad in the comment section down below. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Other Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Brandon Payne, Glacier XE, and G Prosper. And then I'd like to give a big old thank you to our line art tier patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Igneo Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a big old thank you to our Ink tier members: Fine, Austin Wimberly Euchia, and Yuki Alla. Then I'd like to give a big old gargantuan thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. Then I'd like to give a big gargantuan thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Item Okami. And I'd like to give a final gargantuan, supersized, sweet mother of mercy, that kidney will be yours one day, or the Black Myth video, whichever comes first, possibly both. That guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.